All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. I hope you're doing well. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of November 2025, and we are here with the market again, that high, because once we take out that high, maybe a pullback might happen. So if you are obviously short on the other currencies, prepare to offload most of it. Okay, if you are short on the other currencies, it would be great idea if by now you've taken some profits. Okay, reason being, sometimes the market will play with your emotions, and I'll show you an example of it. The market likes to play with our emotions. So if you don't take partial profits, you might experience a bit of emotional manipulation, whereby maybe price wants to go to your target, but it will not go there in a straight line, but it will move back and forth before it actually goes to your target. So you can see as we are approaching this 100 and 100.25 level, price has not been moving as big moves. It's just slowly approaching it. Now that is a good thing, because when it's slowly approaching it like that, there's a probability it's gonna run aggressively above it. Something like this, here, where we slowly approach it and then they manipulate it down, then they went aggressively above that high, which is here. They did the same thing over there when it came here. Okay, they manipulated it down and then aggressively run above it. So when that happens, like for example this kind of move, when it happens, you might feel as if price is not going to go into your target. Okay, you might feel that price is not going to go into your target. So sometimes it's good to take something off just to release that pressure, and then you let the rest continue to go. So I have personally closed most of my profits. I've taken most of my profit off, and then I'm waiting, probably looking for another entry. Okay, so let's go to Euro. Yesterday I gave you something to ponder on, that if you sell, okay, you're gonna be targeting this level and then that, and that is what is currently happening. So we are still looking out for the 1.14, which is closing the gap. Okay, we are still looking for that as our target. So maybe today, I think a sell during the New York session, probably. It can't go above this and trade into the London session gap. So I would prefer stop loss being above all the gaps, and then still targeting the balancing of the gap. So you might not have enough. I wouldn't want to put your stop loss here and then you get stopped out and price will goes in your favor. So this would be the best area to put your stop loss. Okay. With the British pound, same thing. I think yesterday I spoke about price going down if we close below that 1 hour candle. I think it was somewhere here. Sorry, here, this one. That if we had closed below it, then you can look for a sell with that 1 hour candle. But it didn't happen. But this morning something nice happened, which we took out the London session high, and then by London here, New York session, we took out the London session high, and then by London we've traded through that New York session gap, and then this morning they used that to move the market down. Now I did not catch it, but if I was awake, because I was asleep, I slept around 5 a.m. this morning. I was up all night watching the Australian dollar. I was up watching the Australian dollar rate announcement, so I didn't sleep early, and because of that, obviously I had to get some rest, and yeah, I missed the move. If I was awake, I would have probably taken that trade. That if I was awake, I would have taken this trade here, but I was far gone. When I woke up around 10. When I woke up, price has hit the 3 level, which is this gap, this candle's low. Okay, so the next obviously target, it will be the 1.3050 level, and then we'll continue to the 1.3 full figure level, which is somewhere here. Okay, so I'm still looking for continuation to the downside. All right, that hasn't changed. You're still looking for lower prices. Now euro pound, I think yesterday I spoke about this, that they will likely form the low, but do not buy, just wait for them to confirm. Now today we have the confirmation, so we might have, we've not closed yet, but we might have Monday as the low of the week, and then we've confirmed a swing low. So going into tomorrow, it gives a high probability trade to come for this equal high. They might go for it today, but if they don't, then this will give you a nice opportunity for a trade idea tomorrow. Okay, so let me sync that. Okay, so that is that. They might come for it tomorrow or today, preferably tomorrow, because we have this New York session auto block here, and this candle's high will be a breaker, so that can be an area you can expect price to trade to for a long, or you can use the Fibonacci 2 and then buy the optimal trade entry, which is the 618 level, which is roughly here, with your stop loss there, and then you look for a move back above that equal high. And in terms of high time frame targets, this candle's high, that area as well for potential targets beyond that high. Okay, so that is that for the euro pound. Let's look for gold. Obviously gold, we've been looking for lower prices, I think, since that fair value gap formed. Our intention is lower prices until we go above it. So I've not changed it. I'm still looking for lower prices, although we've not had any significant move. But if you pay attention to the H4, the bearish order blocks has not been traded above, which is a good thing, which is this up candle. They never went above it, so that is a sell there to go down. And then they created another one here, which is the one that I shorted, and your stop loss goes above that, and you're looking for the same lower prices back down here. Now if they form another one, which we have about 23 minutes to go, I don't know if that can come all the way down to close below that. If it does, great. Then you can yeah, if they can close below that, then we can look for a continuation to the downside. So definitely look out for something like this. So we want an immediate close. Okay, something like this: up candle with a move down, up candle with an immediate close. Ideally I want it to form on the daily, because if we get it on the daily, that would be very, very good. Okay, but if we don't get it and we get it on the H4, that's also fine. We will deal with that. So I want to see something like that form, not on the 1 hour, because on the 1 hour sometimes they will go above it. Like for example here, they went above it. Here they've not gone above it yet. This one is not bad. It formed in it's not good because I wanted it to form in London. So I think they might likely go below this low by the next H4 candle closure. By the time this candle close, they might go below that. If it does happen, then definitely look for a sell. Okay, all right, so that is that for gold. Let's look at crude oil. So crude oil price came right back down this morning. Not what I wanted to see, but I've not changed my mindset about price coming up here. I think we are just coming for the previous week low, because that was still a probability. Okay, they want to take out the previous week low out and then go back up again because of this down candle. So as it stands, price is likely gonna take out the previous week low, which comes in at 59.64. So 59.64 59.64 will be the draw on liquidity for now. Okay. Yeah. So I'll look out for 59.64 as a draw on liquidity, and then once we get below that, we are still inside this big volume imbalance, so we are likely gonna reject. Then I'll look for another buy again. Okay. ES. So ES, we are now in the new month of November, so I think we are going to form a low of the month in here and then expand out, similar to the month of October. So October drops down into September gap and then resume going up. November drops down into October gap and then we're going to go up. So this is not something bad. It's just that we've entered into a new month and they are forming the low of the month, which it's likely going to form in here. So this is where understanding power 3 comes in, right? Perfect power 3. We've not formed something like that in a while. I think we did form something like that here. So this is June. Okay, this is all June, and then July drops inside the fair value gap over here. Okay, right there. So July falls in there and then expands up. Then September, August kind of consolidated. September expanded, and then we entered November. November dropped down into September gap, then expanded. So that's the first week of October, and then expanded. Then we closed for October. Then we started November. First week of November drops down into the gap. So what we'll be expecting is another move. So the upside objective that I gave, which I just deleted, which I was not supposed to, the upside objectives that I gave, which is projection of this six nine let me go here. Okay, so let me expand that. That will be our next upside objective. Now with the current candle dropping, we can project that one too. Hopefully they don't close it as a down candle, but even if it closes as a down candle, that would be good because you can also project that into the upside and get different targets as well. Okay, so this is a good thing. I like it. It's offering a potential buying opportunity. Maybe wait for my confirmation, then you can look for the buy. Okay, so maybe wait for my confirmation and then we will look for the buy again. All right. Okay, so that is that for the currencies. Now let's shift our attention. Let's look at dollar yen, because dollar yen has also moved down. Again, nothing really serious. I think I was expecting them not to come back below this to go up here, but the power of 3 for the week, Monday, Tuesday, dropping down into the fair value gap, and then we go back up again. So this is likely forming the low of the week, and then we go back up. On the weekly chart, we are still bullish. Nothing really has changed. We are just forming the low of the week, and then we go back up again. So we are still aiming for the 154.77 level. On the daily, it's just a gap that we are retracing into. So just like here, right, we drop down into the gap, then we reject and go up. I think this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Same thing, Monday, Tuesday, dropping just like last week. Then either today or tomorrow, price will start rejecting to go back up again. So again, it's a buying opportunity. Okay, it's not a sell, it's a buying opportunity. You buy when market is going up. Okay. I'll double check. I think we might have something like that, but I've not actually checked, so I'll double check. All right, so dollar yen. Maybe we might pause in here. This is the. I don't think it needs to come all the way down here because there's nothing there. So we might reject right in here. So let me sync this over here. Remove that idea and then reduce it all the way to this. That is the London session gap. If we put a Fibonacci, we right on top of that, and then sync that as well. You see we have 50% here, so 50% is right there, hence we can come all the way down to that level and then we go back up. Okay, so yeah, that is the business for that. Yesterday I spoke about the Australian dollar, okay, and I did give you that they are likely gonna send price for this equal low. I had two positions on this. The first one was on the one that I think I shorted here, this one. So I shorted during the New York session over there, and then I placed a sell limit on the H4 fair value gap. So first one, actually my first entry was a sell limit, which was here. That was my first entry, and then the second entry was once that H4 candle did not go there, I shorted market order here. So I had a market order here, and then I had a sell limit there because I thought it would not go there, so I shorted, and then I left the sell limit there. All right, and it kind of tapped it several times. Then yesterday we had a big move away. We left the gap during the New York session. I think yesterday I gave that to you as well. This or that, they're going to use that to continue going down, and that's exactly what they did. The news rate announcement came in around 3 something or 3:30. I was up watching. It went down then came back up, and like I said, I slept around 5. So when I was sleeping, price was somewhere around here, and then it just fell off, created a gap, pulled back, and then this morning I did place one of my trades target here. So this candle took me out, then I shorted again right in here because that was a London session gap with my stop loss above that. So I have another entry here, and I'm expecting them to go for this equal low. We might maybe pause a little bit here. We might pause a little bit here, and then obviously the downside objective, that equal low, and go this one. So let me project that over there. It comes in at 0.64404. Let me see if that one will appear. There. Six four. Why am I all the way there? Oh, there it is. That's too much of profit targets. Let me get rid of some of these lines. I think I have a red line there, that is why. Okay, this one. Okay, so partial profit here, and then the rest to continue going down. Okay, so that is that for the Australian dollar. I think this was a very, very high probability trade. Now, why did I like this one? Because of market maker sell model. This equal low is definitely going to be taken, this one here. So that is what led me to be confident in the Australian dollar that it's going to go down. I saw something like this candle. The moment that candle printed, that one, it was game over. It's a pattern that if you can learn something like this, oops, that's too much. Don't worry, maybe just look at it from here. Okay, the moment that breaks aggressively like that with a huge candle, that one, the moment that happens, put your eyes right here. It's gonna pull back, it's gonna pull back, and then eventually take out that low. All right, so if you look at the the Australian dollar, even the higher time frame has something like that. If you look closely, we have here, there, and then we broke down. So this one is a pullback to go down, that's a pullback, and then ultimately with the continuation to the upside on the dollar index, they might come for this, but that's on the high time frame. Okay, but this is a lower time frame, similar, this one here. So it's a high probability pattern that if you can learn it, maybe I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it sometimes in future. Spend more time talking about it. Okay. All right. Mr. Dean is asking about USD CHF. Let's have a look at Swiss dollar Swiss. Let's look at from the weekly time frame perspective. Actually, let me maximize this and then look at it from a bigger time frame. Wow. So the beginning of this year, this is what I talk about, or this is where I talk about this is where I talk about fractals. Okay, and I love that lecture. If you don't, I don't know if I've done that lecture on this platform, but I've done that lecture with my private students several times. Fractals, right? This is an up candle. We are in a bearish market. This is an up candle. This is a pullback. So what's going to happen to the next candle? It's going to come and attack this low. Okay, this is a 12 months time frame. So this is a yearly candle. So this whole year price went up, leaving equal lows. So 2024 price went up, leaving equal lows. Okay, now 2025 is going to attack this low, or the worst case scenario is going to take out this high and then come and attack this low. Then you break it down to 3 months. So this is January 2025, right? I would have probably expected them to take out this high and then reject and go down. On a monthly, at what time did the market decide it wants to go down? Right here, when this candle closed below that. When that candle closed below that, then market was going to come here. Now when you go into the lower time frame, you're going to see that same pattern over here. The market maker sell model that I just described, you're going to see that same thing here. Okay, also look at something over here. Look at this pattern. This is what the Bitcoin market, which we'll go on to that very soon. This is what Bitcoin market was trying to do on the weekly chart, where if we do not close below and we reject, the next candle should take out this low and then immediately go up. Okay, so if you go to let's move to Bitcoin quickly. Okay, so something like this. We've gone below this low and rejected. Now this candle, as I was saying yesterday, can come for this low. I think I already have a line there. Can come for that low, and then it should reject immediately. So watch this candle's high. We should reject immediately. If we don't reject by the end of this month, then something like this is gonna follow up, but not as aggressive as that. It's just that it's gonna come down here. So for example, if we don't reject, because I think we have this low and then we have an auto block here. So if we don't reject immediately below this candle's low, then this will confirm what I would deem as a dealing range for this high to this low. Right, it'll confirm that range. If we don't reject, it'll confirm that range. Price is gonna come to discount before going back up again. But if we reject immediately, then this will be a run on stop. This will be a run on early buyers, and then they will reject and go up. So all eyes on this low here, because which comes in at I keep saying this low. Let me give you a price. Okay, that comes in at 103.516. Okay, 103.516. Once we get there, we need to reject immediately. If we don't, there's a problem for Bitcoin. We're gonna come 98, 97, and then 95, and we can drop down to the weekly chart and have a nice area somewhere here. That's if we don't reject. Then forget buying, put your attention here, or even 90,000. That doesn't mean you're going down, it's just pulling back to go back up again. I'll go back to the dollar Swiss. Let me finish off whilst I'm here. Let me finish off with the cryptos. So yesterday I said If we close like that, focus on selling. Now, in my early today, I'm just gonna go full in. I'm not gonna do a short session, so welcome to me going on a rant. I've not done that in a very long time. So in my early development, when I was still learning about ICT stuff, the easiest way for me to look for trade ideas is when we close below an up candle or a down candle. That was the easiest way for me to buy or sell, because once I get that, then price has confirmed a change in the state of delivery, or we've just moved against what the market was expecting, or what most was expecting, which is this up candle. We've moved against that. The most recent one is always going to follow through, meaning once we get that, price will go in that direction. That is why yesterday I said, if we close like this, focus on selling to attack this low, and then obviously continue going down because of the range. We are going to go, because of the Bitcoin, we're going to go somewhere here. On the monthly, we are dropping into that monthly fair value gap. And this also has the same signature as Bitcoin. We took out the low. If we come below this, we need to reject immediately. If we don't, price is going to come into discount somewhere here. Now, this is a very this is a high probability range. I prefer Ethereum to Bitcoin. Go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a normal range. When I say a normal range, what I mean by is we have a low, we have a high. What Ethereum is showing is we have a run on stop here and then a break of structure. This is your perfect range. Okay, so if we get into discount, let's say Bitcoin gets into discount, Ethereum gets to discount, which one would I buy? This one. I'll spend and this is where I say something funny. I'll sell my wife and my son, and I'll place all the money that I make on that trade, and then when I close the trade, I'll buy them back. Okay, because with this run and this break, this becomes a high probability range. I'm not saying this is not high probability, but if I was to choose between the two, this is the one that I'll choose. So if you are a fan of crypto, then sit tight, let Ethereum drop down maybe to 2,800, roughly that area, or you can use the range that I've done on the weekly. Let it come into OTE 618 level, and then begin to accumulate Ethereum. Okay, Solana, I think I spoke about that too. We are gonna go down to somewhere here. Now, with what Bitcoin is doing, we could come for 94.70. Okay, we could come for 94.70. Now, why do I say that? I say that because of this range. That's a high probability range. Same pattern. We run the high, we break down, we pull back, we confirm. So the confirmation is here. So we are likely gonna come here. Okay, so let me actually get rid of this. Forget buying for now on. We are gonna come here. And this is a market maker sell model, which I'll show you an example of it when I go on to the dollar Swiss. Ripple, I think I spoke about that too. They're gonna come for this low. The only problem is this wick is so long that I don't think they'll come all the way down here. If it does, which I don't think it should, but if it does, there's going to be a quick rejection from it, because we are not supposed to come that deep. Okay, maybe 50% of it, or it might come to the 25%, which is just tapping below this low and then rejecting. Okay, so again, focus on the low, previous week low for now. Okay, moving on. Hype. I think hype has dropped down into that area. Now looking at how the Bitcoin market is looking at, I don't think this would be a good buy. They might come for these lows, so let's remove that and focus your attention here and probably there as well. So let me go to the monthly and look at it from the monthly perspective. Same pattern over here. We took out this low, rejected. If they come all the way down to this candle's low, which is this low here, we need to reject immediately. If we close, then we have to use this low to this high, and again that will offer a buying opportunity. Now anytime price is going down in an uptrend, we're not supposed to see it as a sell, or we are not supposed to be feeling bad about it. It's just a buying opportunity. All right, so if we don't reject this low immediately, focus here, 28 level. Now if we get there and then you buy, now you can forget about it, because we are going to expand up. AI 16, so the gap is not holding for some reason. I think it's obvious that Bitcoin is king, because this under normal circumstance should hold and send price up, but looking at how price is behaving, it doesn't look like that because of Bitcoin. So my opinion, we might come back for this low, and then when we do, it might match with Bitcoin trading into that discount area, or this is just going to stay in a sideways market to accumulate, because we don't have anything downside again. Okay, that's the lowest it can go, because this is the original consolidation. So we might stay in a consolidation in here, accumulate, and then reject and go up. Now what makes me say that? The fact that we were able to close above this gap. Okay, it's a positive sign. So if we are coming back down again, that might be the last move that buyers can get in and then go up, meaning the big whales might be buying now. Again, what's the proof? So again, this is purely my experience. Okay, when price is about to go up, there are some signatures that they leave behind in a downtrend and in an uptrend. So when price is going down like this and it's about to go up, there is some signatures that I have noticed. One, they will, let me get rid of that. Price will do something like this, right? And then you're gonna have a first big move. Okay, that first big move trades into a fair value gap, then a quick move back down, then rejection, then we go up. That is the classic one that I've seen happening over and over and over again, whereby this whole move to the upside, the last up candle, becomes the breaker, the fair value gap over here becomes the IFVG, and then obviously they will leave a fair value gap over here, and then price will go up. That's the classic one that I've seen. The second one is the 3 Indian pattern, which is price will make triple lows. We take out one, go up, take out one, then show an attempt to go up, then one more run, then rejection, then we go up. That is also another pattern that they use to accumulate to go up, which is the 3 Indian drive. Then the last one is this one here. The last one is where price will close in the gap. So price will leave a gap here. It will close in the gap. It will not break the high. Then it will come back down, take out the low, and then go back up. Because under normal circumstance, the closure of the gap should send price to break the up candle, which is here on the weekly chart. Under normal circumstances, the closure of this gap here, once price was able to close above it, once price was able to close above it, right, it should send price to break this up candle. So if it's coming back down again, then that is the third type that I've noticed. Okay, so that's why I'm giving you the idea that it's likely gonna come back below this low, but as soon as we get there, we might get a rejection for price to go back up. Okay, so that is that for AI16. And then finally Chachki. I think Chachki is approaching the all-time low, and yeah, once we get there, maybe a rejection can come through. I'm not sure, but we will see once we get there. So we are not far away from all-time low, and again, we don't have, okay, so this is the classic one, this one. So notice that gap, price trades into it and then drops down. That dropping down, most often that's the one that they use as a auto block. So this whole move will become an auto block. You can go into price and then find examples, right? The 3 things that I've just shared with you, and you see that is going to be likely the case most of the time. Okay, so that is that for the Chachki, and that brings us to the end of the crypto market. Now let's go back to the let me double check how gold closed for the H4. Okay, so it couldn't close below the up candle, so that's fine. We have to wait for more confirmations. And now let's go to the dollar Swiss. Okay, so back to what I was saying earlier. Now when we got that confirmation, this pattern, if you pay attention to it, you're gonna get a lot of trade ideas just by knowing this pattern here. Because once we take out this low, okay, like this is a sign that we need to go up. Okay, once this candle rejects, it's a sign we need to go up. If the next candle closes below, then that is super bearish. That is super bearish. Price is gonna go down. So from the yearly time frame perspective, as I was saying, when did price confirm it was gonna come and take out this low? It did that the month of March. By the month of March, price has confirmed we are going to attack this low. Okay, now let's drop down to the weekly, and then you see the pattern that I was talking about. So this is the consolidation, this is the up candle, I'm sorry, the down candle, this is the down candle. In this case they only had 2. If I go on to maybe a 3-day, you see it properly. So this is the consolidation, This is the accumulation. This is the accumulation. So once this move here, once it happened, price is gonna attack this low. And you see how aggressive they came for it within just 2 weeks. And when we are in such phase, you sell any return to an up candle. So return to this up candle is a sell. A return to a fair value gap is a sell. When we are in this phase, that is why the trade I just gave you on AUD USD, okay, which is here. Once we are in that phase, a return to a fair value gap is a sell. A return to an order block is a sell. A run above it is a stop run. So here we've created another range where any fair value gap that has been created, if we pull back into it, you want to sell short. If we create an up candle with an immediate close, if we pull back to it, you want to sell. And that is why I sold this fair value gap here. Okay, and you see eventually we're going to attack this low. Right, so this is very, very classic price action to its core. Now back to Dane's question. What's my thoughts on it? Now that we've completed the move down with this candle, with this 3 months candle that has taken the previous month low and rejected, this being an up candle in a series of a down candle, this is a positive sign we are coming back up. So right now we might have a range like this, and price it's likely gonna come up to 50%, but it will trade to this candle's low first. So 0.83359 is going to be a target. If I go to the monthly, you can see we took out this 3 month low and we are rejecting, hence price is gonna trade to find the first gap. So this would be, you can say, a medium term target. This would be long term target, the 50%, 0.85167. This would be a medium term target, and then the short term target would be this gap here, which comes in at 0.81713 level. Okay, that's going to be the short term target. Now let's drop down to the weekly. With the weekly showing strength, we've taken out this low. That's that 3 month low, rejecting. That is the fair value gap on the monthly. On the weekly, we don't have anything, so definitely that candle's low and probably the 50%, it's likely that they're gonna get there, with a potential fair value gap being left here. That is a positive sign, because that means if we see price coming back down, that fair value gap is going to hold. So because we are now above a high, we are above a swing high, which is this one. Okay, so now that we are above it, preferably this week should close like that, and then this will leave that as a fair value gap. Price should continue going up, but if for some reason it decides to go into a pullback, it will find support in here and then aim for the upside objectives. They are now dropping down to the daily time frame. Now we are in the forest. Everything is too many candles. So right here, you're gonna stick with what we call institutional order flow, meaning anytime we close above a previous day's high, you are buying the next day. Anytime we close above the previous day's high, you're buying the next day. So for example, here closed above, you buy that. This one did not close, you don't. This one closed, you buy. This one closed, you buy. Okay, then you can trim it down to H4 and then look at down candles. Anytime we close above a down candle, that gives you an opportunity to buy. So here, 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 and then maybe the next H4 candle will close above that. That will offer another opportunity. And then lastly, you can then drop down to the lower time frame, which I'm gonna go over to the other side. So what I'll do is I'll add this to the watch list just for Mr. Dean, so we can track it every day and see what it's up to. Now you can transpose that to the lower time frame and then add time of the day, right? Time of the day. So London session, New York session, you're looking for order blocks to form. So this one is a good one. This is a New York session. We've got about 39 minutes to go, but if they can close above this, that would be a very good candle order block. Also, we had a move down in London, which is an order block as well. These 3 down candles, they were buying in that, got activated with this, and then they buy more in New York session. All right, so let me go back and transpose this over there, transpose that as the target, short-term target. Then you can stay here. That is where price is going. All right, so hopefully I've explained that and you all understood. And yeah, I think I've talked a lot today, which I haven't done that in a very long time, thanks to Mr. Dean's question. All right, so that is it for now. I hope you had a good understanding. Maybe next year I'll start doing some teachings again. I've been doing just pure analysis. Going into next year, maybe I'll do some teaching as well. Okay. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you same time tomorrow at 1:30. I'm sorry, at 1. It depends. Sometimes when I'm doing my meditation, I go over the board, so I might get here a little bit late, but definitely live session will happen unless I make an announcement that I'm not coming. Live session is gonna happen even if I'm late. I'm not late because I choose to be late. Sometimes I have to get myself into a meditative state so that I can flow for you all. Okay. All right, so have a wonderful day, and I'll see you same time tomorrow. Take care.